Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Kelly Sacato, and I'm welcoming you to Spring Quarter 2024 English 102. Now, one of the things you might be asking yourself is what's really the difference between English 102 and English 101? Well, for English 101, you wrote a variety of different kinds of assignments. You read primarily essays, you read nonfiction of different types, narrative essays, cause effect essays, argumentative essays, and so forth and so on. And you wrote your own essays after the fashion of the essays that you read. That's a more generic writing course. English 102 is a little bit more specifically directed. It's primarily about writing about literature, or I should say textual analysis, analyzing texts. So the essays you're going to be writing this quarter are going to be looking at various works of drama, poetry, and fiction, and looking at the how and the why. How are they put together and why are they put together that way? What makes a particular play, poem, or short story work? What are the author's tactics? What are their techniques for making a story work? Well, in order to understand how these things work, well, you have to break it down into its parts. The word to analyze, the word analysis means the examination of the parts of a whole. In other words, when you're trying to analyze, understand anything, you break down the whole to see how the various parts work together to make that whole. And so the first thing we're going to be looking at is what are the parts of a whole of a story? So when you learn the parts of a whole of a story, you'll be learning what kinds of questions to ask to understand how these parts work. And then you'll be applying these questions to the various texts that we're going to be reading. And if that sounds a little bit dry or intimidating, this kind of skill does take practice. You're not born knowing it, but once you learn it, it's not going to spoil your joy in anything that you read. It will enhance your joy in the things that you read. And I'm really looking forward. See, the first thing we do when we read a piece of literature, when we read a poem, or we see a play, or we read a short story, or we see a film, first thing we do is we react on a personal level. I liked this. I responded positively to this. Or I didn't really care for this. I didn't like this. I responded negatively to this. And when you have those initial personal reactions, it's fun to kind of talk about them. Okay, you like this. Okay, what did you like about it? Why did you like it? Why did it land with you? And you didn't like this. Okay, why didn't you like it? Why didn't it land with you? What failed to connect? It gets you thinking about how you, as a reader, respond to the work. Because one of the first things I want you to understand about the text you read is that readers and writers work together to create meaning. No two people ever read exactly the same story or exactly the same poem or see exactly the same play or see exactly the same film. We all experience it differently because we bring our own experiences to the table. So don't be afraid to share your thoughts, even your negative thoughts, about the things that we read in here. Looking forward to hearing how you respond to them. And we'll be sharing a lot of interesting ideas, I think, during the course of the quarter. So I will be here to answer any questions that you might have. My information is on the syllabus. So have a wonderful beginning of the quarter, and we will talk a lot more later.